The most important promise you will ever keep is the one you make to yourself. When you honor yourself in that way, you're not just moving forward in your goals, you're transforming your life. So go ahead, make that promise today and keep it. Watch how your confidence grows, your purpose unfolds, and your journey begins to flourish. Hey y'all, it's your girl Tiffany Z. You can call me your auntie, your cousin, your sis, your good friend, whatever you want to call me. I am here to encourage you and to help you to live your life on purpose by showing mine, showing my frailties, showing the things that I struggle with, sharing things that has happened in my life in hopes of helping you to see that you're not alone in the things that you're going through. I am here to talk about something that's been so heavy on my heart. That's perfectionism, as well as keeping our promises to ourselves. If this is something that you've been struggling with, keep watching. Grab you something to drink. I am up early, y'all, trying to show up for y'all. So I have my coffee with me this morning. I got up really early because I wanted to not only keep my promise to myself, but I wanted to keep my promise to God. Y'all, I am so tired of telling God, if you do this, I'll do that. If you do that, I'll do this. And he do his part, but I don't always show up to do mine. And so last night we were in church and our pastor was talking about just how God's strength is made perfect in our weakness. And as he was talking, I was like, man, I've been making an idol out of my weaknesses. I've been serving the God of my weaknesses rather than the God of my strength, the God of my hope, the God that I have seen show up for me time after time after time again. And he's shown up mighty, he's shown up powerful, and he has shown up strong. So why am I focusing on what I can't do when I've seen time after time again that when I give it to him and allow his strength to be made perfect through my weakness, I show up, and I show up better than I thought that I could. But it's nothing that I did in my own power. It's only by the grace of God that I'm able to show up the way that I do. So I was like, you know what? I am going home tomorrow. I'm going to stop sitting on my YouTube videos and I'm going to record a video. If it doesn't do anything but transform one life, although I know it'll transform more than one, I'll be satisfied with that. But more than anything else, I'll be satisfied because I kept my promise to myself and I kept my promise to God. How many times are we out here keeping our promise to everybody else but ourselves and God? We keep our promises to our employees. We keep our promises to our family. We keep our promises to our friends and even strangers. So why is it so hard for us to keep our promise to ourselves? And if you're anything like me, that can be a little convicting, but so important. But at the end of the day, the most important promise you can keep is the promise that you keep to yourself. Now, I know you probably clicked on this video because you're battling with perfectionism. Trust me, I've been there too. But it's important for us to see how perfectionism and keeping our promises to ourselves are connected, and why breaking free from perfectionism is important for you to keep your promise to you. Perfectionism really holds us back. It's that voice in your head that tells you that everything has to be perfect before you can start. You want to launch a business. You want to write a book. You even want to do something as simple as taking better care of yourself, but you're just waiting on the perfect time to start. If I can be honest with you, which that's the only thing I know how to do, that's why my name is Truthfully Tiffany, there is no perfect time. You have to just start where you are with what you have. Trust God to take care of the in-between, the things that you don't have and the things that you don't know. He will fill in the spaces. He'll fill in the gaps if you just give him something to work with. I also like last night when my pastor pointed out that even in our weaknesses, we have to continue to move forward. A lot of times when we feel like we're not ready or it's not the perfect time, we won't do anything. We will sit on our gifts, we'll sit on our talents, we'll sit on that thing that we know we're supposed to be doing, and nothing ever happens. How do you plan to get started if you don't start? For a car to run, you have to turn the ignition and the car has to start. You have to put some action into it in order for it to begin. And that's the same way it starts with that thing that's deep down in your heart that you want to do. Turn the key, begin the ignition, and go. I have my notes here with me, y'all, because I can't always memorize this stuff. I'm over 40 and I ain't gonna lie. Y'all, I be having brain fogs. I be forgetting things. So I brought my notes with me. One of the things that I wrote here is perfectionism is rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not measuring up. But here's what I've learned. Waiting for perfect doesn't delay progress. It breaks the promise we make to ourselves. Think about it, y'all. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start once I have everything right, you're breaking a promise to yourself every single time you decide to delay starting. So what is it? What's causing you to delay beginning? I've already told you perfectionism and what it's rooted in. Now, what else is it? I don't know you. You know yourself better than me. There's something that's keeping you from starting, but I'm here to encourage you not to allow that thing to have as much power and control over you as it has. Begin again and again and again. If it doesn't work out the first time, start over again. If you know this is what God is calling you to do, you keep starting it and you keep doing it until you get it. Do not delay starting. Every time you delay starting, every time you break a promise to yourself, guess what it does? It chips away at your confidence. It chips away at your self-worth. Because deep down, you know you're capable, but you're letting perfectionism hold you hostage. Break free. Let me tell y'all about my own journey with this. There was a time, y'all, when I would not start anything. Everything had to be 100% perfect before I would start. I would spend so much time planning, organizing, developing ideas, researching. Y'all, I spend so much time researching stuff, but researching and all of these other things. And I never would start. I spent hours, days, weeks, months doing all of these things. And because of that, I ended up staying stuck. I was making promises to myself over and over again, and that did nothing but push me further down the road because I was waiting on a level of perfectionism that did not exist. What I eventually realized was that I was breaking the most important promise, and that was the one to me and the one that I made to God. And y'all, it was tugging at me so much. I was like, I cannot keep living like this. I had to find a way to break free from imposter syndrome, from that paralyzing fear, from the control, because I'm learning that perfectionism is also a form of control. I had to break free of it. Am I fully free today? No, but I'm one step closer to being fully free because I'm here recording this video for you. Here's where things began to change for me. It was when I took on the idea of progress over perfection. I made the decision to start before I was ready. I made peace with the fact that my journey would not look perfect, and that was okay. One, because that's not who I am. That's not the life I try to portray, that I live a perfect life. But two, because perfectionism wasn't the goal and having things perfect wasn't the goal. The goal was progress. I started small. I started with things that I knew would build my confidence because that's what I needed to work on. So if I was at work, I would do a project at work that I knew was going to stretch me, but also build my confidence. I had conversations that I knew would stretch me, but also build my confidence. I cleaned around my house. If you're following me on Instagram, then you are seeing that I'm currently decluttering my house. Y'all, I want the whole house decluttered, but I can't do it in one day. So I've been doing small projects along the way. Something as simple as, what day of the week is this? What's today's date? By the way, what's today's date?
Today is Wednesday, September 18th.
So today is the 18th. So I would say I need to get rid of 18 things today. And that's what I would do. I started small. I did one thing at a time. I took it one day at a time. And again, I trusted God to fill in the gaps. And by keeping those small promises to myself, it grew my confidence. The more I kept my word to myself, the easier it became to keep going. And what I learned the most about this is it's not about having everything together. It's not about being perfect. It's about doing something, anything that moves you forward. When you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, it builds your trust in you. It sends the message that I am worth showing up for. Think about it. When you break a promise to yourself, it's like telling yourself that your own goals and needs are not as important as everyone else's. But when you start keeping your promises to yourself, something incredible happens. You start to believe that you would do that very next thing that you said you would do. And you actually start believing that you are deserving of the life that you've dreamed of. And I want you to understand something really important. This is also about being committed to you, committed to your growth, committed to your journey, committed to your healing, committed to keeping the promise that you've made to God, to live for Him, to tell others about Him, to allow your gifts and your talents to make room for you, to help draw others closer to Him. Y'all, we haven't just made a promise to ourselves that we're breaking. We're breaking a promise that we've made to God when we said we would live sold out for Him. So I want you to commit to getting started. Commit to getting it done. Commit to keeping your promise to yourself. Committed to start it even when things aren't ideal. This is the power of keeping your promise to yourself. Now, I know one of the biggest reasons that perfectionism keeps us stuck is because, again, it's rooted in fear. We're scared to fail. We think if we don't do it perfectly, we'll mess it all up. But let me tell you something. Failure is part of the process. It's how you learn, how you grow, and how you get better. Here's the truth. If you're not failing, then you're probably not trying. Let me say that again. If you're not failing, you're probably not trying. Every misstep, every lesson that's learned along the way is part of what will make you stronger and more resilient. So let me encourage you once again. Don't allow the fear of failure to keep you from getting started, to keep you from making progress. Keep showing up for yourself even when it's hard. Keep making these promises and keep keeping these promises because that's where your power lies. That's how you'll start to see real transformation in your life. So here's what I want you to do for yourself today, sis. And if you continue following along with me, you'll know that I love to give homework. I love to start challenges because these things help us to become better than we were today, the day before. I want you to make one small promise to yourself, something that you can do that's going to move you closer towards your goal. Your goal may not be to write a book. It may not be to launch a business. Your goal may be to clean my kitchen. Your goal may be to take a shower, especially if you're having a hard time right now and you're feeling down. You just may need to say, I need to get up out this bed. I need to brush my teeth. I need to do something. Whatever that something is, I want you to keep your promise to yourself and I want you to do it. I don't want it to be anything grand because when we make it too big, sometimes it's harder for us to keep that promise to ourselves. But look at one small thing that you can do that's going to get you closer to your goal and do it. Maybe it's something that you can say, okay, I'm going to put 15 minutes aside to work on this. And something I love to use is a timer. I'll set that timer 15 minutes. Once it goes off, whatever it was I was working on, whether it's done or not, I remember that it's progress over perfection. And that was 15 minutes of progress that I was making. It could be saying no to someone else so that you can say yes to yourself. You've been giving other people so much of your time and your energy that it's being taken away from you and what you need. Say yes to yourself today. Whatever it is, start today, start right now, and keep your promise to yourself. And once you keep your promise to yourself one time, you continue to build on it and build on it. And you'll look back and you'll be like, dang, I really have been getting things done. But if you're anything like me, sometimes we're so focused on all of this out here that we can't see, or not all of this that we can't see, all of this out here that we can see, and all of these other things that we want to do, that we can't see what we've already done. And I don't do a whole lot of looking back in the past, but when I do look back, it's to look back and see how much me and God have accomplished together. Because y'all, I can't do this thing by myself. I know my weaknesses, and I know that I need him to help me every single day to show up and be the best version of myself. Let me leave you with this. The most important promise you will ever keep is the one you make to yourself. When you honor yourself in that way, you're not just moving forward in your goals, you're transforming your life. So go ahead, make that promise today and keep it. And watch how your confidence grows, your purpose unfolds, and your journey begins to flourish. I hope this video has encouraged you today to kick fear in the face and to keep your promises to yourself. I'll see y'all in the next video. In the meantime, be well, stay well, keep shining, and remember that you are worth every promise you make to yourself. In his love and mine, truthfully, Tiffany.